Did you know that you can now update your branded custom domain inside your Tekmatix account so that not just your websites and your funnels are in your own domain, but so is everything else as well? This means if you're creating forms that used to generate a Tekmatix link with a bit of gobbledygook at the end, you can actually now create forms, surveys, quizzes, and other public links that will no longer be in the Tekmatix domain. They can be in your domain too. So you need to go into, first of all, your Tekmatix account, and I'll move my big old head out the way over here. Click on your settings, the little gear icon on the bottom left-hand side of your main menu, and you need to be inside what's called business profile. Now in here, first of all, while you're in here, just do a quick check, make sure that all of your details are up to date. I find that every time I come in here, something has changed. This is a demo account, so just ignore all the stuff on here. But what we're looking for is inside your general information, we are looking for underneath where you've got your email address, you've got this thing now called branded domain. And this is new. This has actually been implemented since around May 2025. It's a pretty new feature. So if you have had your onboarding call before May 2025, you are going to need to do this step if you want everything in your branding. And we strongly recommend you do that. Now, before I show you scary domain things, please first of all know this is not scary. And if you are absolutely terrified of it, don't forget, you can always hire a grown-up by contacting our support team. You can go to tekmatix.com/services or /support. Both of those pages give you the option to hire one of our tech experts for $50, and one of the grown-ups can do it for you. But I'm going to show you actually that you can do this yourself. So at the moment, you'll see a bit of a blank box here. You're going to add your domain. It's actually called a subdomain because we're going to create something called word.tekmatix.com. Okay, you will have this, you will have not a blank hole. You may need to remove, we just press there, remove if you do have anything showing there, but it's unlikely you will if you haven't done anything here yet because we've been playing with this because it's a pretend account. But what's called a subdomain is when you have word.yourdomain.com, for instance, and we want to create a word.yourwebsite.com subdomain inside this box here that will basically attach itself to all of your forms and all of your quizzes, surveys. We do recommend using links.yourwebsite.com because this will then basically cover any kind of public thing or link that you might be sharing with the world, including, importantly, your calendars. Because again, at the moment, up until this change took place, your calendars, if you shared those directly, would have been something like link.tekmatix.com / blah, 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 blah. Now this will be links.yourwebsite.com / 60-minute calendar. So this is why this is so cool. So all you're going to put in here is link.yourwebsite.com. Okay, so I'm just going to put in the Tekmatix one for this demo that I'm doing, links.tekmatix.com. Oh, I'm going to do .net in this one because we're mucking around and pretending. Don't break the real one, Sarah. Okay, obviously in your case, make sure it's links.your actual website domain. Okay, now from there, we press add domain. And it's going to say, do you want to connect this domain to your website, to your DNS settings? You're just going to trust the process and press continue. Okay, this is now going to be taking you through to your DNS records. This is where your domain lives, where you bought it from. And it's now going to give you some instructions. So I am just going to take you through what happens next. So just FYI, I've changed the word link to example in my example here. Once you're at this stage, you are now going to need to log into your DNS area. This is the place where you bought your domain from. So for example, GoDaddy, Squarespace, Crazy Domains, Namecheap, wherever it is that you bought your domain, you now need to go and log in, go and find your domain and log in to that domain area. And you need to go and find where you can add a record. Now, obviously, I can't do a demo in every single one of those locations, but you will find where do I add a CNAME or where do I add a new record? And that's a Google search that you could do or ask ChatGPT. You'll normally find that in your main menu called DNS settings, FYI. We're going to go and press add a record, and you'll see here what we have is a really, really straightforward copy. I'm going to just zoom in a tiny bit, guys, so you can see this because I know it's a little bit small. You've got host, type, and data. Let me just tell you then what this means. Host literally means host here, which is our word that we've given. So let's copy that one over first because that one's really straightforward to understand. Host is host. Now don't copy and paste it manually. Use this copy button so that it copies the exact word without any spaces or anything around it. So let's go into your DNS settings where it says host. You're going to paste in your word. So that would be link if you'd put link in there as an example. Now your type is going to be CNAME, okay? Pick CNAME, don't need to ask any questions. Priority, in this case, when it's a CNAME, will in many of these platforms blank out, but if it doesn't, we're gonna make it a priority number 10, okay? We don't need to ask any questions as to why, just leave it blank if it's blank, put a 10 if there's a hole. This old TTL thing, this just means time to live, i.e. whatever changes you make to your system, how long is it going to take for that to completely, at maximum, update, refresh on the big old interwebs. So you can actually change this to the lowest number. This means in this particular instance, any changes we make to this domain are basically expected to go live within 30 minutes. All right, so I recommend just popping it down to the lowest amount. Now, here's the final bit of data we need to copy and paste over. You can do this, copying and pasting, all right? This alias data over here, sometimes it has other words, by the way. In our little domain settings we've done over here, it's called required value. So required value just means alias data. Again, please do not try and do a copy and paste manually in here. Just press the copy button. This will make sure that the information in this box is copied over completely and nothing's missing. So let's go back into your DNS settings. Just paste, just paste, just press paste. That's all you got to do. Okay. So you should have your subdomain word in the host, type, CNAME, priority, leave it as blank or 10, your time to live, whatever's the lowest number of minutes available. And in your alias data, you're copying over this thing here called required value. So if you've done that, first press save. So I've just had to actually change my little branded domain again because we already had that word saved. So basically make sure you press save. It should say new record saved or new CNAME record saved, and it should now show in your custom records area. That's good. That means it's worked. If, by the way, you get stuck on any of this, the domain that you're actually registered with, whether it's GoDaddy, Crazy Domain, whatever, can also help you do this, right? Their support is specifically to help you create subdomains. That's what you're doing here. So if you do want help from your own domain provider, simply get in touch with their support and say, I just want to create a subdomain, please, with to be able to do that for you, or at the very least walk you through it. But as you can see here, look, that wasn't hard. You can do that. Even I was able to do that. So once you've done that, basically you're going to want to give it just a couple of minutes. You might want to do a little refresh on here. I haven't done that yet. I'm going to press refresh. Lovely jubbly. Now over here, once that has refreshed in your domain, we can now press verify record. Let's see what happens. We're going to cross our fingers. Everyone's going to hold their breaths and hope that this has a big old green tick at the end. So let's give it a minute. I'm just going to pause while this happens. Alrighty, so you don't even get a big fat green tick. So as you can see here, actually all it did was just load for a minute. It took about 30 to 45 seconds, a little load, and it then just, the screen that was there just completely disappeared. And you'll see now we've got our branded domain.com. Okay, so this now will be grayed out. That will show you, this means this is now connected and verified, which means now, when I go and create a form or a survey or a quiz or any of those kinds of other elements that we're going to create a link for, it will now show as link.yourwebsite.com or brandeddomain.tekmatix.com, as I've got as an example here. That just means that all of your branding now across all of your Sharesy linksies are all going to be consistent, in alignment with your brand, and make you look absolutely fabulous. If you need any help at all, don't forget to reach out to our team. You can get our tech experts to help do this for you. So enjoy having a consistent brand, and also by doing this, ensuring that it's your images, your logo that even comes up in the social media images that pop up, for instance, when you do share your calendar links. Doing this branded domain setting change is going to make sure that it's always your brand, your logo, your wording showing when you share any of your links. Don't forget you can get help. Happy teching!